Hi, my name is Mary Wong, and I'm a registered traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and acupuncturist, founder of Alive Holistic Health in downtown Toronto, and author of Pathways to Pregnancy. Welcome to my live post number 69, where we're going to be talking about 5 tips to beat your holiday blues. And to have our guest here this evening, and I'm going to actually add you in, who is Jan Silverman. Thank you for coming tonight to speak.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity.
I want to introduce you before we get right to the questions. First, Jan Silverman, before I even mention your bio, actually, I want to acknowledge you for being part of my life when I was going through fertility challenges. And so I tell everyone that you are my fertility counselor extraordinaire, the best in the world. That's my point of view. Yeah, but it's true. You've been around forever. And so I'll actually now read this. So Jan has been working for more than 35 years, supporting, educating, and advocating for women and men with fertility issues. After 21 years at Women's College Hospital in Toronto, Jan is now in private practice, continuing her counseling practice, running support groups, and still working to create awareness of the fertility, of challenges of infertility. Jan had her own fertility challenges back in the days when there were minimal options for treatment, and she made her family through adoption and is the mother of 2 and now a grandmother of 3. So she's a very busy woman, being a mother, grandmother, and then still working and advocating. So it's really awesome. And so thank you for taking the time. Okay, Jan, as we know, for many people, holiday time, birthdays, or any kind of celebratory times can be quite painful, like a painful reminder that we're missing something, i.e., when it comes to fertility, it's either not having a baby or, mourning for the loss of a wanted child. So share with us some of the tips that you provide for others. I know what I tell people, and you'll actually find some of my, what I call thrival skills in my book, Pathways to Pregnancy, but I want to hear what you have to say and what I know that you have your own set of things to say.
Absolutely. We all do. But I think first and foremost, we have to acknowledge, for as joyous as holidays are, they're so challenging. It seems to be the time of year when everybody expects that everyone is supposed to be joyful and happy, but it's also a time, it's the end of the year. We can't help but reflect on what we thought the year was going to be about, how we thought it was going to play out, and how it actually has ended. So for many people, when they really thought that 2017 was finally going to be the year that they were going to have that pregnancy or have that much desired child, and here they are at the end of 2017, preparing for the holidays and thinking, damn, I'm pretty well in the same place that I was last year. But we know that that's not true. We know that even if you're not pregnant yet, or if you haven't made your family yet, that you've moved forward in one way or another. And hopefully you've moved forward with kind of thinking about, what do you need to make the holidays and the season work better for you? And that's what I hope we can just chat about for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
So should I delve right in, Mary, or do you want to say something?
Do I want to say something? Well, actually, I do want to say something. And I want to tell you that, I've been doing, this is my 69th post. And I don't know if people actually know this, but this is like my volunteer time. I do this out of the goodness of my heart. I don't get paid for it. There's no sponsorship. I just do this because I want to give back. It's my way. And I do have a little child, thankfully, through overcoming fertility challenges. So I do have to navigate my life as a working mom. And it's like, as much as I want to have like a full-on support group, as you do and you do this like 3 times a month, is that right?
And I've been running the infertility one now for 25 years.
Wow, that's awesome. And I've been there. But the point is, I can't physically do that right now. I have a young child. So I do it in the privacy of my own home where I can actually give back this way. So really, I want to thank you for being part of my little giving back. And as you're always constantly giving back. So now we can delve into it.
Okay. So I think this is a holiday where you have to contrast the would-haves and the should-haves with what's going to work for me. And I think that that's really, really important to not think that you're doing something just because you have to. And I think you really have to be mindful and take into consideration yourself, where you're at, and what's going to help you get through this season, if not joyfully, then as comfortably as you possibly can. So let's just talk a little bit directly about holidays, about the holiday period. All right. And let's think about some of those situations that are kind of yikes. How am I going to deal with that one? All right. Is that okay with you?
Totally. I'm going to make you bigger on the screen and me smaller. There we go.
So first of all, holiday parties. You know, our support group always has a holiday party this month because we figure we need one place where it's safe, because holiday parties invariably are the time where people feel, holiday gatherings where people feel that they have to make announcements, you know, or where people are going to come up to you and constantly be saying, so, how are you this year? Is that a little bump I see under there or not? Hey, what's new with you this year? And that can be so challenging. And it can often fill people with great dread about even attending a holiday gathering. So my tip around this is you don't have to participate in everything. You get to choose wisely what's going to feel okay and what's not going to feel okay. So start by thinking about the invitations that you accept. If you know that everyone there is going to be talking about their little ones constantly, then maybe that's not the right party for you to attend this year. Doesn't mean you're never going to get together with that group of friends again. But if you're feeling a little bit fragile, honor that. You know what? You are not obliged to do anything. Parties are supposed to make you feel joyful. So choose carefully. Think which situations are going to feel best. Now, even with that, there can be times where you're thrown for a loop and you get stuck at a party with someone that is going on and asking questions that you really don't want to be answering. Have a signal with your partner. Create a good little signal that even if you're not standing together, or if you are, that there's some sort of signal that you can have that will say, honey, when you see that signal, I need you to come and rescue me. You know, nice little scratch of the hair, you know, a nice little roll those shoulders back, something that only your partner will realize is you saying help in a very, very subtle way.
I love that. That's an awesome tip.
The other thing in these sort of gatherings is when you're getting together, maybe think about a get together for you and your partner with somebody that you've been kind of chatting up at the clinic, or somebody else that you know is also going through a fertility challenge, and maybe have a little get together with people that really get it, that aren't going to spend the night talking just about children, but will also be asking you about what are you going to do on your holiday and what's going to be fun for you. So that's a first tip about how to deal with a gathering. Okay, let's move to shopping. I don't know about you, Mary, but when I was in the worst of my fertility challenges, malls made me crazy. especially around Christmas time, because there was Santa Claus and there were the lineups of children and the whole shopping mall seemed lined with strollers, except, of course, for me, because I didn't have a stroller. I didn't have any reason to have a stroller, although I will say I saw a cat in a stroller the other day. I think they're becoming more popular. We were not going to go there tonight, though.
And dogs, too.
And dogs. It's like, really? Anyway, but what I'm going to suggest for people, a tip around this, is look at where you're shopping. Take advantage of all the beautiful, smaller, boutique-y sort of stores. And instead of being inundated by the crowds at a mall, try the small stores, the personal stores where strollers are not going to fit in the door. Okay? Make the shopping experience work for you. Okay?
Oh, wait, so I want to add in then, of course, then, and that's a really great thing that you're saying for those that are going into malls or these boutique stores. But now, of course, there's lots of online shopping. So if you can't bear yourself to go through these kinds of places in anticipation of looking at pregnant bellies or babies in baby strollers, then you can definitely do it from the comfort of your own home and you don't have to engage with anyone.
I think you are so right. And I think that because I have never done online shopping in my life, I don't know. To me, there's still something special about looking and touching and
I
trying
agree.
on.
I
But
yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think this is where my gray hair is starting to show. I will look on the other side. It's not as gray. Okay. Another tip around the holiday season. Plan something special. Remember, you count. This is also your holiday time. Figure out something that you really enjoy doing. You know, some activity that you really get great joy from because you deserve to celebrate as well. So that could be something like, you know, you are going to go on a rampage and see all the hot movies that you've been meaning to see, that you're going to catch at least 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 movies over the holiday period. You know, if that's what you enjoy. Or plan a special trip. And a trip, because no one has money when they're going through fertility treatment to go on major trips. But there are amazing things to do in the city over the holidays. How many people have been, you know, to a night market or gone, if you're in Toronto, gone down to the distillery district, not on a weekend because it's crowded, but during the week, or walked the streets and go through a neighborhood and look at all the beautiful, beautiful lights from people's homes. Why not? So plan a special outing like that. Also, plan something special can so well mean create your own family tradition. So often at this time of year, I hear, well, we always go over to my mother, or we always go over to his parents. We always open up presents. We always create your own traditions. Make it special for the 2 of you, if there are 2 of you. Make it that it's not just what your parents do or your partner's parents do. What do you want to do on Christmas morning? Right? Start with your own tradition. Christmas traditions do not only have to be about children toddling down. You know, I had one client that used to always say that on Christmas morning, the night before Christmas, he slept on his open-up couch in the living room so that he could just wake up and see the tree. That was his tradition, nobody else's. I think that was amazing. So don't pretend that it's perfect, because we know it's not perfect, but how can you make it a little bit more perfect than it was before? Okay, does that make sense?
Totally. I'm going to get back on here. These are great
And
tips. Anything
I
else?
think a couple more if we have time.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Bonus points. Sure.
Okay. Couple more. Another good tip is share your feelings and share your experiences. Don't suffer in silence. And I feel so strongly about that. You know, we are always, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, when in truth, we're holding everything inside. Now, we don't want to make other people feel badly, and we don't want people to feel sorry for us. But I will suggest to you, people only feel sorry for you when you give that real sorrowful, woe is me kind of statement. So if you can discuss that, you know, this year has had some challenges for us, but we've dealt with them together, and we're really hoping for a better new year. You know, people are going to ask you some challenging questions over the holiday period. Be prepared with answers. Always my favorite. Have practice with your partner a couple of those answers to those questions that you wish people would not ask you. So if people ask you, hey, aren't the two of you ever going to have kids? Have a good response at your fingertips so you don't go home and think, I should have said. You know the questions people ask. Holiday season gives people permission to ask even more. So don't be caught off guard. You know, share your feelings, share your experience, and let others know that you really appreciate them. You know, let them know, during this year, you've been so helpful to me. I think that's part of the spirit. Do for others. You know, in this season of giving, as much as I want to be receiving, but we can give in all different ways. Help others in need, right? There are so many people out there that could use that much for all that we feel that we don't have. We have so much more than so many other people. And sometimes it's important to realize that even though we may be feeling kind of, I don't have, think about what we do have. I do have a roof over my head. There is food on my table. For many of you, I go home to a partner that I care about and that cares about me, right? And sometimes it's really important to create those lists, because when we concentrate on what we do have, we so often tend to forget about what we concentrate we don't have. We forget to think about what we do have and make lists. Nothing's wrong with a list that says, hey, I have a nice sweater on. I picked up a fabulous bargain. Oh my goodness. So do for others, but do for yourself. And I'm a big fan of making sure in this season of giving that you give yourself one fantastic present to yourself. Doesn't have to be expensive, because I'm back to we don't always have the money, but maybe you're going to treat yourself to that incredible glass of wine, because you're not pregnant anyway. And maybe you're going to go and treat yourself to that bottle that's really a little bit too expensive, but you know what? It's a treat. And again, when we're thinking about ourselves, remember about our partners. You know, share your feelings with your partners. Honor your feelings with your partner, right? And remember that they're doing their best. That so many times in a loving experience, they don't always do exactly what you want them to do, and they're not responding but they're trying, and they're holding their own sorrow and pain as well at this particular point in time. Okay? And can I just add one more tip to get
You're
through?
cutting it for a second. So yes,
Well,
you can add one more, but you just cut out for a second. So go ahead and
okay,
do
I'm
that.
just going to give one more tip. The one
Totally.
more tip is start the new year right. You know, I promise you, none of you listening are going to have a baby in 2017, right? That's just the reality. It's not going to happen in the next, 15 days, 16 days, 17, whatever it is. I don't even know what day. But what I'm going to suggest to everybody, take the baby part aside. We can't do anything about that today. But we can create an achievable goal. Pick something out there that you can realistically do and complete. So a goal may be, maybe you're going to take some dance classes. You know, you're going to embarrass yourself tremendously, but you're going to go to that dance studio and take a dance class. Maybe you're going to sign up for a cooking course and really learn how to cook something. Maybe this is going to be the year that you start figuring out how to do pottery. You know, something that's always been on the back burner and that you've kept on the back burner because every bit of you has been focusing on trying to achieve a pregnancy. But this time, create a goal that you unquestionably have the power to accomplish. Because you know, Mary, that everyone tries and does everything they possibly can to achieve a pregnancy and then some. They do things that they never thought they would do. They try new things. They take care of their bodies. They try to take care of their minds. But what we want them to realize is that no matter how hard they try, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way they hoped, right? So set yourself a goal that you can make happen. You know, for me last year, it was finishing a scarf that I promised myself that I was going to finish knitting a scarf instead of adding it to that pile of unfinished knitting projects. The other thing, and this is so strongly for our fertility patients, is resolve not to be in the exact same space next year. And for some people, it is going to be looking in that crystal ball and thinking, what else can I look at? You know, for all of us that have been challenged by fertility, none of us got our first choice. As I always say, our first choice would have been to have great sex if you're heterosexual and wind up pregnant, right? That was everyone's first choice, but we didn't get that. You know, and so for many of us, the second choice has been going to the clinic. For some people, it keeps going for treatment, going for IVF, going. For me, it was going for adoption. Wasn't my first choice, but oh my God, it was still a choice. And it's been an amazing ride, but not where my first thought was. So resolve that in the year to come, you're going to think about, are there other options, things I can try that I didn't try, right? Never look at it as giving up. You know, so many times people say, oh, but if I ever look at adoption or looking at a donor or look at a surrogate or then I'm giving up. You're not giving up. You're moving towards another option.
Yes, and I'll add like the ability to be open.
Exactly. You know, as I say, as much as I would have loved to have won a gold medal at the Olympics, I would have been satisfied with a silver or a bronze. You know, life is not always about getting the gold, but sometimes we have to learn how to make what we have into gold. Make it into gold. And the final thing that I'm going to, as I always like to remind people of, is during the holiday period, and I don't know who's out there listening, But I am going to say that I want everybody that's going through a fertility challenge to have sex during the holiday period. Because in this season of giving, remember to give to your partner and to receive from your partner. You and I won't talk for you, but I can talk for myself, and I know how challenging having any semblance of a sex life was during the worst of my fertility problems. And I know that I hear it all the time from the people that I work with. So I'm going to tell everybody to take a deep breath. Remember that you and your partner have gotten through so many challenges, and that even though it's not what you would have expected, believe it or not, you're stronger together for what you've gone through, most probably. So honor that and celebrate together. And remember, when I say have sex, it doesn't necessarily mean intercourse, but remember that there's an intimacy between the two of you, and enjoy and honor how wonderful, special, and miraculous it is that you found someone to share your life with. How's that, Mary? Did I talk long and quickly?
Well, you have a lot of great tips there, and I'm really thrilled that you said, sex is not necessarily like just mutual spontaneous orgasm. It can actually just be intimacy, holding hands, whatever it looks like, right? So thank you for adding that piece in.
Oh my God, it can be just a real kiss goodnight instead of an air kiss.
Yes.
That's an encounter.
That's right. No, so it's really excellent. So let's just do a quick recap, all right? So there's like so much nitty gritty here. So at parties, giving yourself permission to go or not go. And I love the idea of having your partner having some kind of, you work out some kind of a signal to help you get out of that conversation that you don't want to be in, or whatever, just divert the attention. Second, about the shopping experience, either go online or go to boutique shops. Third, about creating a special outing for yourself, so that is joyous. Fourth is creating your own family tradition. Love that. That's so neat, right? Like, and that could be a tradition of two people, you and your partner. And if you're single,
family, two people are also a family.
Totally, absolutely. Love that. And if you have an animal, you can include that. 5, sharing yourself, so with others, and perhaps maybe that's something I love that one too, just because there's so many aspects of one's life. So I typically say it could be with a friend, it could also be with a coworker, because you're at work, so many hours of the day. And so I think that's a great one too. And it doesn't mean self-pity, but it's opening yourself up in a way that there's less awkwardness. And perhaps whoever you share with can also be part of your community of deflection. So if they can watch out for others, right? You can make a plan, a pact about, helping to protect you in your vulnerable state. 7, you said, basically what I hear is when you do for others, just giving back. So to divert your attention. Number 7, gratitude really is also what I heard. And number 8, starting your new year right with, I suppose we can look at like a new hobby. And what I get out of that too is not just a hobby, but really actually living your life again, finding yourself again. Because certainly most people going through this will say, oh, gee, I feel like I don't even recognize myself anymore. I'm not doing what I used to love. So it's about being true to yourself, living your life, picking up a new hobby that you've already had in the past, or something completely new. Like I remember one lady who went and, did pole dancing. I thought that was kind of fun.
I think that sounds amazing.
Right? And it moved her hips, so it could open things up. So that's all good.
Exactly.
And what was the last one? You said one more. Resolve not to be in the space that you were as in the previous year. Love that. All great tips. Anything to add? I think we're good, right?
No, but just celebrate and celebrate yourself, celebrate the season, but remember how special and incredible you are, because you've gotten through a year that was filled with challenges and ups and downs, and you got through the year. So way to go. Way to go. And a healthy, happy, wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating at this time of the year. And may 2018 bring everybody that much closer to achieving their dreams.
Thank you, Jan. That was awesome. We'll have to have you back another time with another topic. Great advice.
That would be lovely. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak and thank you for what you bring to this as well. Always, always, always.
Thank you. Okay, great. And we'll sign off. So next week I'll have a topic. I'll do it by myself next week. It'll be a surprise. I don't know what I'm going to talk about off the cuff right now, but it'll be something awesome. And then I'm going to take 2 weeks off for the first time. So be with me next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out all my posts because there are 69 of them now. 69. That's a fun number, right? Okay, have a great one, and I'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And pick up my book for advice. And yeah, have a great night. Have a great week. Thanks again, Jan. Take care. Mwah.
Good night now.